Hi, I am here to chat a bit about one of my pet peeves, and that is the settle fit advice groups. Um, there's a lot of opinions out there, and the people don't have anything to really base it on. So I see this a lot, and as an experienced fitter, especially working with remote clients, it just kind of drives me crazy because I am like, how can you tell without this or that? And I pick up on things that people are saying that others don't. So, like, here's a example of what seems to be a good fit. Let's say all the right pictures were taken, and for all intents and purposes, this looks like a well balanced, good fitting saddle. But the rider is saying that every time she rides in it, it tips forward and she gets tipped forward and she can't understand why. So just after going through a few things, we see what's missing. Well, we don't have any information on the rider. Okay. Let's say she's really tall or heavy set or just got back to riding after a year and she's very imbalanced with no core strength, or she just switched from riding jump to dressage or something. So all that needs to be taken into consideration. And usually you don't get a picture of the rider in these groups, so you can form any opinion on that at all. I would say that the next thing that I would say is always missing is there's no individual picture of the saddle by itself to judge, the condition, the shape of the panels, or like you can see the rear of the panel, but in front, what does it got? Does it have a half panel, a full panel, a drop panel? Is it overstuffed, understuffed with wool? Is it, I don't know. You just can't tell unless you look at the underside of the saddle. You can't really even tell the shape of the saddle and if it would match the horse's back. You also don't have a picture of the horse not wearing a saddle. So you can make some assumptions, and this is a bit of an exaggeration, but does the horse have some shape under the saddle? How is the picture? Is it showing that it's level so you can tell if that horse is uphill or downhill built? Does it have a bit of a dip to its back, or is it straighter than it should be for the type of saddle that it has? You don't have that information, so you just don't know. So other things that come into play is, the condition of the saddle, condition of the panels. How about, has it recently been reflocked, or is it really old hard compressed wool? Also, you see it's girthed up, that's great, but how many pads does the rider put on when they go to ride? You don't know. Now, if they're tipped forward, usually raising a saddle up with a pad, which some people are going to jump in and suggest. You've got very helpful, well meaning people that are going to say, put a shim under it and see if that helps, or, use a half pad or a shim pad or something like that. And they mean well, but that as you can see in this picture, you get all kinds of stuff going and you're still not really sure if you're doing the right thing because you haven't analyzed the tree shape to the horse, basically, is the biggest thing. So I just wanted to mention that in this case, because the rider and the saddle tipped down, so of course her pelvis tilted and she felt it. But what it was is that this saddle came with brand new, completely new wool flocked, and it compresses in front, more in front, just like a pad will raise a saddle. When flocking compresses in the front, it goes down even further. So that's what it was. So nobody guessed it, and nobody would have guessed it. I just kind of wanted to say that I've got a free Facebook group link below, and I've also got a book that goes through all these steps. But the free Facebook group is going to go through this as well, and you're invited to join me. Please go to the description and read more about it. Thanks for your time.